Oh my God. Wow. This new generation of Cougar that just landed at the time of this filming here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, this is something else. They have found a way to take it from 10 to 11, and I am loving what they're doing. Obvious updates at the time of this filming. You can see that nose cap. What they basically did is they said, they looked at their 367 front living Cougar and said, we really like that nose cap with that front windshield. Let's put that on everything, basically. And look at that. We've also got the update to the MORryde steps, but I do want to point out, like, you can see that second air conditioner up front over the bedroom. This is built slightly atypically from how we would normally stock these here at Haylett RV. The owners of this RV added the auto leveling, which is no longer standard as it was in the past, and the bedroom second air conditioner. So keep in mind there's a couple very key differences from how this might be in stock here at Haylett RV, and there are obviously different furniture configurations that you might be able to choose from as we go through the interior. Now, we are fresh off the delivery truck right now, so pardon the shipping packaging on the table here, but it kind of gives you an idea of the protection they offer their products from Keystone. With the super slide closed, one of the hiccups of this big countertop is that with the freestanding table and chairs, you are going to pinch this off a little bit. I suppose if it was an emergency, you could kind of crawl under there, but with just a quick bump of that button, you can also open this up enough to kind of sneak around there. So you don't have full access to the RV with the slide closed, but you also don't really need to really open it more than just a couple inches just to do the butt scoop boogie to sneak around that thing to pack up the fridge and all your kitchen stuff. But you've always got easy access to your bedroom and your bathroom. So like I said, there's a second air conditioner present on this one that wouldn't probably normally be found on the in-stock ones here at Haylett RV. This is going to be 50 amp service though, typically, so that is something that you'll usually be able to add. I wanted to highlight a couple of the key things here up in this bedroom because these are, I think, role-defining, class-defining, and nearly unshoppable traits in this class and category. So a lot of RVs have those front windshields now. That's great. I'm very happy that this is here. There's a privacy shade in it. They did a beautiful job of execution. Then again, when, you know, your big sister Montana's been crushing front windshields for a long time, you know, it wasn't real hard to just borrow a page out of their playbook. So they did that well. But speaking of Montana, here's another thing that this now has in common with Montana. So for the last couple years, Cougars have had a king bed in a travel trailer, but it's been what's called a Camp King. It's been wider, but not longer than a Camp Queen bed. Well, when they redesigned the nose of this, they basically engineered it so that the nose of the RV, the front wall, sticks forward 6 inches further. And that allowed them to put a 6-inch longer bed in this without extending the tip-to-tail towing length of this RV. So without adding a single inch of towing length, they have upgraded this from a Camp King to a 70 by 80 true Montana King, and that is absolutely awesome. We can still walk around this thing just fine. We've got the bigger, wider, longer bed, and it's kind of funny. Wife and I, we always had a queen bed, and I always talk to people, and I kind of call them king bed snobs, and maybe I was a bit younger and a bit snottier myself. I acknowledge I'm growing up, and as we age, we kind of, a little bit of wisdom and a little bit of humility kind of sometimes comes into play, and I'm certainly no different from anyone else. But recently, wife and I on a trip ended up bunking up in a queen bed in a hotel, and it wasn't my favorite experience, and I've kind of become one of them king bed snobs. I get it. So that is one of your major key differences right there, and there's some other things that we'll talk about as we go, but that to me was one of the most amazing, unique, defining qualities that they did on this. And I don't know if they did it on purpose or if they stumbled into it on accident, but the fact is, it's here and it's fantastic. Now, like I mentioned, the second air conditioner, the auto leveling that we are looking at in this camper may not be present on the 27 RES we have in stock at Haylett RV. And you might not see this specific furniture configuration. And this is where I need your help, ladies and gentlemen. Last year, the way that we had this was with a hide-a-bed over here and a booth dinette over here. And this is obviously the complete exact opposite. And in the back of my mind, I was wondering if this wasn't the correct furniture configuration on this one for the majority of people. I like in a couples coach like this, I think that this freestanding table makes it look and feel a lot bigger. Cougars are always going to have those maximum size windows helping open this thing up, and that's what's cool about this. Small camper, big windows, big feel. And then over here, as opposed to a hide-a-bed, you've got this dual reclining wall-hugging theater seat that, I mean, just in case you're curious, it can fold down into like a double sleeping space, but it's also very nice directly across from the entertainment center if you just want to kick your feet up and relax for the day. So I would really like to know, do you prefer theater or hide-a-bed? And do you prefer dinette or freestanding table? And more than that, I would actually like to know which of those combinations you actually prefer. Because looking at it, I like this one. I'm personally inclined to say theater and freestanding table, which makes us more of a purist, true couples camper. And that really kind of spooks some people because, like, what if the grandkids come over? My daughter's 8. She likes to sleep in Grandpa's recliner when they go camping in Grandpa's fifth wheel. So I think that still satisfies the need to sleep the grandkids no more than they're actually going to come with you, because that's not a common thing. So let me back up one step because there's a couple neat things going here. Right at the entry door, this right here is a motion-sensitive light. Now, you can turn it hard on or hard off, or you can have it on motion mode. So you do have a 3-choice selector there. But what I like about this is, like, let's say it's late at night, and then you need to get up and go to the bathroom. That light will kick on when you need it. What if it's, you know, you've been outside for a while, and you have all the lights off inside the camper, but you want to be able to see when you come in, but you don't want that light on all the time because it'll make the window glow, which will cause bugs to collect by the door, which will let bugs in when you open the door, and bugs are not the point of camping, obviously. You want them out of your camper, not in. Well, this will only turn on when you need it, turn off when you don't, unless you turn it on full time. You've also got this really impressive in-command system here. And they went to this late last year, and I'm such a fan of this. Anything you can do off this panel, you can do off your phone by syncing to it. You can operate things like your bedroom, your ceiling, your awning lighting, all from right here. You can operate your heating and cooling controls. So that's what's cool, guys. If you wake up at night and your bedroom is too hot or too cold, grab your phone and adjust the temperature. Isn't that slick? You can also operate your slides and awning right here. Pardon me. Not to mention, keep an eye on like your tank levels and your battery monitor and all that stuff. So that will allow you to, even sitting in that theater seat back there, be able to control like your lighting. Or if you're inside, you're like, oh shoot, turn the lights off inside. We don't want bugs around those windows. Well, you can do that. Now this Cougars, everything about them, they're really kind of defining themselves as kind of large but light. Their intention was not to build like a big ultralight product. But the end result is something that is very competitive in weight, despite the fact that this is built with thicker 2-inch sidewalls, with the extra big vaulted roof, with the heavy-duty roofing that is one of the most stable I've ever walked on. We've got the bigger 15,000 BTU air here, standard. The bigger 30,000 BTU furnace, standard. And that's what's kind of cool about this. Even though this is a mid-size camper, a pretty common-sized one-slide camper, what Cougar does is to say, what's our biggest trailer? The 34 TSB triple-slide bunkhouse. Okay, fine. What size air, what size furnace, what size tires, suspension, chassis, etc. do we need for that? And they use that big, heavy-duty stuff through the entirety of their lineup. And I think that's what's causing these smaller trailers to have exceptionally good service records and structure records, because they're built heavier, they're built thicker, longer, stronger, you know, and by, you know, not by intention, but by simplicity's sake. And when you streamline and build everything the same way every time, you get quality through repetition. Now, I want to really point out, again, all these windows open for ventilation. We obviously have night shades, and those slide side windows will open to give you some wicked cross breeze, which is fantastic. Now, one of the other cool things here, if I step back, is you see that you've got a direct-facing entertainment center with this big 4K HD TV here, and isn't that ridiculous that we're getting 4K TVs in RVs? RV, TV, 4K, I don't know. It seems like that there's some kind of rhyme there. Anyway, but obviously, the TV can pivot out for easy viewing, even from the dining area, or if you're standing at the kitchen doing some prep work. But what's also great is, one of the hiccups of this floor plan is sometimes people look at it and they go, yeah, but there's no pantry. And my response to that is, that's because you have not yet been introduced to what the RV nerd here calls the Pantry-tainment Center. First popularized in their 25 RES fifth wheel that we also feature here at Haylett RV, which is basically this exact same floor plan in a fifth wheel where this concept originated. They said, you know what, we don't need 2 chairs and a sofa and a dining table because it puts the TV 40 feet away from the viewer in those rear chairs. So let's get rid of those chairs, and what it allowed them to do is enhance the entertainment center for a bigger TV that's easier to see, has more storage, and is still ideal for couples camping. So it's shorter, lighter, less money, more storage, easier viewing. That's a good set of qualities, ladies and gentlemen. Now you can see obviously we've got good shelf space, and I like that extra countertop in the back. You'll always find something to do with a flat horizontal space, you know? But the TV, you can see, swings open to reveal what I like to call the Pantry Entertainment Center. The TV acts as a door for that rear shelf storage space. But what's cool is you can put some big stuff, some small stuff, some stuff in between back there. And then you've got this big, deep overhead cabinet here that goes all the way back to the wall above the entertainment center. Now, it's a little more shallow down below because this concept allows for an outside kitchen in a couple's coach, which is not a thing that you find every single day of the week, especially in one slide like this. Now remember, everything in here, the idea is a little bit bigger, and that's why we've got an 8 cubic foot fridge standard. Other laminated trailers, many of them do have that, but Cougar's been doing this for a while now. It's still part of their makeup. All of our cabinet doors are all hardwood framed. All of our cabinetry is pocket screwed for longevity. And again, the thicker walls, the heavier chassis, the sturdier tires and suspension, we are seeing fantastic records out of these. I've been very happy with really our entire Keystone travel trailer lineup here at Haylett RV. Passport has had some very high noteworthy service records as well. So the newer Furrion stove, a lot of brands have this. Now I'm going to gloss over it quickly, but it is recessed. You've got a tempered glass stovetop cover that will allow for like extra prep space, and those little backlit LED knobs that you can turn off right there. Again, a good grandkid nightlight or evening navigation light if you don't want to leave that motion sense light on. Big windows over here in the door side for airflow. Notice you've got one on both sides of that entry door, so you can get some good light and air in this. They're very good about windows at Cougar. We've got the sealed edge countertops here with that recessed stainless double sink. There are dual sink covers. I simply only put one down for easy viewing of what the sink is. And again, that high-rise sprayer faucet here for easy cleaning of everything. Perfect space for a wastebasket below the sink. Awesome detail that they have not missed here, with great drawer space. And now what's cool is not only do we have normal like kitchen drawers here, but big drawers for like bigger stuff, heavier stuff storage on the back side of this kitchenette here. They just really have not missed a mark on this. So like you look at it and you're thinking, yeah, but it's smaller. It's not going to have the great kitchen space that I'm wanting and needing. I don't know. I think it does pretty darn well myself. Now that open feeling vaulted ceiling that we're looking at right here, it's made more obvious and drastic with those accent colored batten strips that go across the trailer. It just really draws your eyes to it, because I don't use what I call the liar liar pants on fire fisheye lens. I've always felt that that's like attempting to deceive one, because you're not really showing a consumer like yourselves what the RV really looks like. I'm trying to show you what I think is a better version of what it looks like. I'd rather you guys see what it really is so that when you come here you get to know. One of the reasons I mentioned earlier I like the freestanding table and chairs in this is in the booth dinette of a Cougar, there are no storage doors on the end of the dinette at the time of this filming. Maybe that'll change, but at the time of this filming that's true. And they're using a pedestal-based dinette. And in a bunkhouse or something, that doesn't really offend me. And the pedestal bases don't really bother me too much because it's very easy to exchange for a set of free-floating legs. But I like the bigger open feel of this, especially in a couples camper and especially in a smaller space. Now, there are different fabric decors on this. What's this called? Storm or something like that. But there's going to be a light sofa fabric and a dark sofa fabric. But what's neat is nothing else in the RV changes. Only your sofa and chairs, if present, will change in a Cougar. And Montana kind of follows the same pattern, by the way. Now here's a neat thing, first made very popular by the Eagle family of RVs, is you've got touch-sensitive dimmer switch lighting. And what's really cool about that is when it's movie time at night, you don't want all the main cabin lights on. It just starts to be really bitey at night. So you can leave just these on, and they have position memory, or you can just touch it and hold it again, and boom, voila, we've got full power lighting. And they do a lot of lighting in their slide out. It really brightens right up in here. Now, I try to be as vampiric as possible and hide from mirrors because I like you folks to focus on the RV. But that mirror right there in that wall, it really brightens things up and it makes the RV look and feel bigger. Common question I get is, what's that little black dot on the wall? This is a sensor for the thermostat. And you'll have one of these in like this room, the bedroom. And then again, you can really control your heating and cooling off your phone or off the in-command pad. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is reasonably travel-friendly. It's not hard to get into. Like I said, you nudge the slide for 2 seconds, you can get in and out. And not being a Schwintek slide, it is okay to do that. But what's cool, pardon me, we've always got quick and easy access to the bathroom. Now, that's cool for traveling, but it's cool for destinations, too. It's nice to be able to spend your time outside and just hop in and out on a non-carpeted space, except for where I wipe my feet off, of course, and get in and out of here very quickly and easily, or to the bedroom to grab like a jacket or something. Now, I've got a porcelain foot flush stool here and plenty of legroom, plenty of room to get dressed in this bathroom. I miss this detail sometimes, but I want to make sure I do a better job this year pointing out a nice little place to hang some towels. Now, between the vaulted ceiling and the skylight, this is a very tall person-friendly shower. And it's even big person friendly if you need extra elbow room like me with my long arms with that bigger radius nature to it. And just like the kitchen, we've got sealed edge countertops, and they really didn't miss a chance to put any storage. I mean, they maximized the possible storage in here. Very well executed bathroom. Now, whether it's that bathroom door, the bedroom door, pretty much any door, Keystone fully frames out all their door jambs. And I think that's another reason why we have such good structural records and service records with our, really all of our Keystone products, but our Cougars, since we're talking about a Cougar here, is they've got thicker interior walls, just like they have thicker exterior sidewalls. And I think that they are just a little more rigid and are holding their shape a bit better. One last quick mention again, guys, and I'll probably mention it again outside too, is that there's a second air added to this that probably won't be on the one that we have in stock. We could add it, no problem. And if you want one there, call us. We'll put one in, no sweat. That's not a big deal. We don't do hidden fees, but we do everything else. You know, hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between, as I say in all my videos pretty much, just to give you an idea. So we already talked about the big hitter thing in this bedroom right here, is that new 70 by 80, not the short Camp King, but a real king bed that normal king sheets are going to fit. And you still have walk-around space, side stands with those little storage pockets. Again, there is a privacy shade in that front area there. You do have TV hookups on the wall, which would be perfect for a swing out and then pivot down TV, so you're not going to have a neck wrecker situation. One of the hiccups with In-Command, though, is it kind of usurps a lot of your need for light switches throughout the RV, but something Cougar did that I love here. They put a simple activator rocker switch here on the wall. And I'm sorry, I overrode myself with the panel, but with the you can activate your ceiling lights here in the bedroom right from kind of the ground level here, where it's easier to get to. Or of course, you could just pull out your phone. Quick note, guys, on these quick dumps on your airs, like this is open right now. Don't leave it open the whole time. I see people doing that a lot. After your camper cools down a little, you need to shut that so that it goes back to centralizing the air conditioning. There's one more thing I was going to show you here in the bedroom. Oh. And that is the fact that we still have storage under the bed, of course, even with the new bigger bed. And of course, that new king bed still easy lifts for storage below. And one of the things I know that a lot of people like is that there is a separation wall between the inside and outside storage. But what a lot of people don't think about is one of the other things that wall is acting as is a mid-bed support so that the bed doesn't tend to sag down over time. But I don't think it's an accident that Cougar does that. I think they know that. I think they're built for a little bit longer ownership, and I think that they're getting the job done well. Now, I've mentioned the structural integrity of these RVs a few times already. That's not just because I feel like it. They've earned my respect that way. We've had very good service records out of our Cougar trailers. It's funny because Cougar's a hugely successful fifth wheel brand. So we really picked them up for their fifth wheels. And then they got really serious about travel trailers. And I am so happy with what I see here. And what I think they did so well is they put fifth wheel features in a travel trailer. Like the cap and windshield. They're not the only ones to do it, but they brought that in from their fifth wheels. The option for auto leveling, the air systems, the thicker sidewalls, the more ride steps, the nicer capital grills that we're going to look at. You know, the heavier furnace package, etc. They've really made something that's big, thick, heavy duty, but not heavyweight. That's what's pretty awesome about it. You know, and that's probably why Keystone really kind of forced everyone to step up a little bit by, you know, there were these things that said 3-year structural warranties for a long time, but they were very non-comprehensive. It was there as a marketing gimmick, and Keystone said, we want ours to mean something, and theirs covers more than anyone else's I've ever seen, including the paint on their cap, because they in-house paint everything, so they can quality control everything. Keystone's so big, they don't have to outsource stuff, guys. You're not paying someone else to paint your nose cap. That also keeps the cost in check. We've upgraded to nicer slam latches, and they're the nicer metallic latches with the easy magnet catches. And this is one of those things you can't experience in person. You need to feel the heft of these baggage doors because they're fully insulated. They're thicker, they're laminated because you have thicker sidewalls, so you can get away with doing that. Also, you see how they're protecting their the hinges on their baggage doors with that sealed piano hinge right there, so that water doesn't get in there and cause it to bind up and go screech a couple years. You know, although a good beer cooler, the hinge will screech like that, so you can keep your buddy Gary out of that, but that's another story. Good look at the primarily aluminum skeleton throughout this. The roof on this will actually be wood skeletoned, but heavy-duty, fully walkable. And one of the really heavy-duty constructed fifth wheels like Montana's, Jayco Pinnacles, North Points, Fusions, etc. They have a roof built almost identically to this. Now over here, this is that in-command system I kind of pointed out inside, and this is sort of the brains of your camper right here. And what this is, a little shield on it for, you know, cargo shift to protect it. This is something we've been familiar with for a couple years now from our Fusions and our Legacy Montanas and Cougars late last year. It kind of replaces the common camper fuse box with something that is far higher grade, more reliable, and it gives you easy access to all the wiring of this RV. And you can see the color-coded nature of this. Keystone was the first manufacturer of towable RVs to color-code all their wiring. So one, since we've seen In Command come into these, we just don't see wiring issues with it. And two, if we did, it'd be real easy to work on it. Now, let's say that fancy digital panel goes out on you or your phone quits syncing. You can still come down here and you can choose which motor you want to operate and open and close awnings, slides, etc. right from here. Now, you've got more of that motion sensitive lighting right here, and it's actually starting to drizzle, so I'm going to do my best to kind of shield the camera. I might have to step inside to get an umbrella real quick. We'll see what we can get out of this tour. The awning, power, remote controlled now. Easy tilt as well, full LED lighting below, that beautiful full painted nose cap with that inset windshield. And it's not a window, it's a windshield. There's a difference there. It's a higher grade glass. It's an automotive install, just like your vehicle. They use the same materials to do it. And like you can, if you gently tap on it with your keys, you can actually hear the difference. You've also got some really cool orange accent lighting on that nose that I would have been smart to display for you, but I always turn the box off when I come outside for power conservation. I never think about the nose lighting. So again, going back to the trend of things being a little bit bigger, we've got a heavier grade power tongue jack. We've got bigger 30-pound propane tanks. Now, one of the differences here compared to the previous generation is that auto leveling on the Cougar trailers is not standard anymore. There were only 1 or 2 models where it wasn't anyway. But across the board, it is no longer standard. It is now optional. So you can see that the owner of this RV chose to apply it. Again, I want to stress that this may not be exactly like the one that we have in stock here, but what will be like you'll have power stabilizer jacks, if not auto leveling, by the way. Power stabilizer jacks are standard, so everything is still going to be push button simple operation. You do not have manual crank required on this, but you might notice that enclosed heated underbelly with their larger 30,000 BTU furnace to keep this thing, you know, extended into spring and fall camping. Now over here, we've got a simple side mount solar prep for portable panels. Park the camper in the shade, chase the sun with the panel. And then we've got another simple but effective water and cable docking station here. So your freshwater hookup, your cable satellite TV hookups, and that is your full outside shower right there. And it does come with one of those blue coily hoses to be able to, what am I wanting to say? Hook a residential fitting up to that. Now, I guess it's kind of fitting that it is sort of drizzling right now as we walk past these giant, oh my god, giant UV tinted windows. And remember, all the windows open for airflow. But back to the rain part, is because there's a lot of Keystone clones out there. Keystone is by far and away the single #1 most successful manufacturer of laminated product in the RV world. No one else comes close. And it's a little detail things they do that'll separate them. So you can put a piece of paper in a copy machine and get a functional copy, but it ain't gonna be the original, it ain't gonna be the same. And this is one of those areas where it will differ. So it starts off with this rough, textured, almost like hammered tin style slide wall right here, and it really grabs the slide seal to get it all the way open or closed. But if you look in there, you can, I don't know if you can even see it, but there's actually a second interior wipe seal plus the interior bulb seal. There's always 3 seals in contact with Cougar slides when they're all the way in or out. Now past that, which I don't think you can see it all, you can't because the seal's doing its job. There's actually an interior like rain gutter in the wall that will shunt water away as you're running the slides in and out. Now, rain will wash down the sidewalls, and something that got a lot of old Fleetwood RVs in trouble is it would wash down the wall and it will wick under the floor. And that can cause soft floors over time. So what Keystone does across the board is there's actually an inverted groove right here on this piece of trim. So the water runs down the sidewall, it beads and drips, because without assistance, water can't go up. It can only go down, and it might wick sideways a little bit through like osmosis and diffusion. The seal under the slide isn't doing anything right now, but it helps protect the slide from road splash off those tires when you're in transit, which is once again one of those things that old Fleetwood RVs would get in trouble about. The slides would actually rot from the floor up, not the roof down. Speaking of the roof, we're going to get up and walk on the roof of this, even though it's probably not a good idea in the slight drizzly rain we have, but hey, I'm dedicated. Or foolish, I don't know which one, maybe a combination of both. But not only does this have a walkable roof, it has walkable slide boxes. The slide box on this, the roof of that, is basically built exactly like the rest of the camper. And that's what's kind of cool here, is that the slides of this are built just like a miniature Cougar that just sort of sticks out the side of the full Cougar. Backup camera ready if you're looking for the extra viewing. And down here, a couple things I'm really excited to point out. First of all, full outside utility shower, which is handy, so this actually has 2 outside showers. But secondly, I like these new taillights. I really like this because I think if I'm looking at it, I gotta believe that this is hooked up to some sort of reverse travel, so when you shift into reverse, if you have a backup camera on this camper, it'll be easier to see at night backing in. But this down here, they added a receiver hitch to the back of these instead of that fold down cargo rack. What that's doing is it's actually decreasing the total length of the camper, but it is also giving you an easier place to add aftermarket bike racks. And since they did it from the factory level, it's not going to void the industry's most comprehensive structural warranty that you enjoy the benefit of on all Cougars. Now, when it's drizzly like this, normally I'd have a heart attack leaving a door open. But since this is just a stainless steel capital grille sticking out of a galvanized, weather-resistant rolled steel countertop, I'm not worried at all. And it's not raining enough for water to get in that cabinet right there. So again, magnet holdback makes this simple and easy to operate. I like that extra storage pocket right there. They're just very good about the little touches in these. And everyone knows what I like to call this. This is Dad's medicine cabinet. What's it for? Say it with me. Barley pop and bottled water. Outside TV hookups right under the awning over here. And the beautiful aluminum wheel package. Now, I probably should have talked about this sooner, but the MoreRide stable steps, this is the step above system here. This is a new addition to the Cougar trailer lineup. I couldn't be happier. I'm so glad to see this. We have seen this on like our Cherokee and now our Rockwood travel trailers in this class and category. These are just exploding in popularity. The cost of them is getting more and more in line from mass production and volume. They are so stable. And with the feet able to adjust to any site, like actually this trailer's nose high, it's not level right now, so I was able to extend the right hand leg a little bit so that this thing is sturdy and stable coming in and out. And now we don't have any steps that are going to collect a bunch of dirt and junk from the wheels going down the road. We've also got an anti-slam entry door, although I don't want to take my hand off of shielding the camera right now as much as I can help it. So that gives us pretty much everything we can see from ground level here. Let's take a trip upstairs, and then we'll call her good. What do you say? And this is ill-advised. I shouldn't be up here on a big crowned radius roof like this when it's kind of wet. But what's nice is this roof does have a bit of a textured grip to it. So, you figure, I don't want to be on the roof when it's wet, but you're supposed to clean these things periodically, right? Well, you're going to be walking on a wet roof then, aren't you? So They put a better gripping roof skin on it to make that a little bit safer. But what I want to kind of demonstrate is just I don't really even know how well it translates to camera, but obviously I'm just walking up here. I'm not tiptoeing around. I can just walk anywhere I want, anytime I want, and I got a sweat bee that is just bound to determine it's gonna just cheese me off over here. But the point is, this is one of the most solid feeling travel trailer roofs I've ever really walked on. Now, they are very good about being heavy-handed with their sealants at Cougar, and especially on their front and rear termination strips, which these are actually the #1 point of leaks in an RV, is the front and rear termination strips, where the roof meets the front or rear wall. So Cougar goes just overboard making sure that you're going to get the greatest amount of factory longevity possible. And then, of course, this is a regular maintenance and upkeep area up here. This is really the RV equivalent of changing the oil in your car. If there's only one thing you're going to do to your camper, it better be washing and conditioning the roof and checking your seals once or twice a year, maybe 3 times in sun country. But that pretty much wraps us up here. Remember, that second air conditioner that we're looking at is optional. I know I sound like a broken record, but I can't tell you how many people say, well, it's not like the one I saw in the video, even though I've stressed it and specified it just a million times. So, with that, I invite you folks to give us a call. You know, we do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between. No hidden fees. I mentioned that inside. I think we're looking at the bed, actually. But short of that, we do everything else. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.